Hello everyone, this is the video showing the project of Group 2 of Final Year 2015 batch, Centurion University of Technology and Management. This is the window that shows the workspace where the project has been developed. The Group 2 members were developing the Android app for Centurion University, and that was a data app containing the most important and most valuable data that are needed for the students, faculty members, as well as the parents who are going to join their wards in this university. Now coming to our workspace or the Eclipse environment or the Eclipse window, it is showing it is the software or environment under which we have developed our app Eclipse, and this is the Java EE environment, that is the Java and Eclipse environment. Combining the Java environment and Eclipse Android environment, we have developed our app. At the most left side window we can see the project explorer, so user can import, export or open any file or any project at this window. This is the main file or project for our Centurion University data app, that is the CUTM app. We are going to open that, and I am going to show you what are the files coming under that CUTM app project. The first Android 4.3 and Android private libraries are predefined, and those are provided by the Eclipse for developing the app, and it is the predefined library required for your for making an project. And coming next, this is the source folder. Source folder contains all those packages. These are common packages. A package contains a lot of Java files in it, and all Java files coming under a single package, and all those packages coming under the main project. So we can open a Java file here, and we can see the Java code. This Java code is as usual, but it follows the predefined coding of Android. That is, it extends activity. Activity is the predefined term or predefined keyword in Android. So this is the source file, contains all those packages. Coming next to gen file. Gen file is the auto-generated Java files required for an app or a project. It contains the auto-generated Java file. While adding any string or any data to the Android packages or Android project, this file generates a ID for each and every data or each and every item added to this project. Then Android dependencies are predefined, and those are provided by Eclipse. And assets folder contains all the required data in text format or in database file format. It keeps all the text format files in it. If we are making a offline data app or a offline app, so we have to keep the text file or needed file, data files and database files in asset folder only, and user can access from this, or the app can access the data from the database in the asset folder. Now coming to bin folder contains the main APK file which is generated after successful compilation of the app or project, and this APK file will be installed in the Android device. Then coming to libraries, it gives the support file in jar format, and this is the most important folder, that is the RES folder, resources folder. It contains all the designing tools and all the designing folders, designing data required to make the app. There are many folders having its specifications as per the requirement of the user or the developer. This folder, anim folder, it contains the animation files. That means what are the animation while clicking on button, what an animation should be played, and while sliding, all those animation design things has been given in this folder in XML format file. Then coming to drawable folders generally they take or they include the image files and designing XML files required for an app. And this drawable HDPI IDPI folders has been separated depending upon their definition pixels per inch. The HDPI means high definition pixels per inch, medium definition pixel per inch, and extra definition extra HD pixels per inch. So depending upon the size of image, those images are kept under their respective IDPI files or DPI files. Then layout folder is the most important folder. It helps to design a layout. How should a layout look like in your app, or how an activity should look like. This is the layout coding. It's having many items in it, and each item contains attributes like a text view contains layout width, height, color, size, all those things attributes. There are separate attributes for separate items. And next one is the menu folder contains the XML files which are responsible for showing the action bar details or the action bar settings or action bar title. Those are responsible for that, for showing the menu. A menu button is there in the phone which shows the required actions or required actions a user want to do. So menu folders is responsible for that, and it also stores the XML files. Then coming to values, a value folder contains all the needed data or needed values required for a Android project. The first one is the dimensions, that is the margin for required for a Android screen or an Android app. And integers, list data contains all the integer contains the integer value that depends upon the user who can store the XML file. But the most important file and pre-defined files are dimension files, that is the dimensions, strings and styles. And strings file contains the required strings or required text data for the app in string format. And as you can see, all data is stored in a string format. And styles is responsible for providing a theme for the visualization of app. That depends upon the user which theme a user wants to use or a developer wants to show in his app. Then coming to the Android manifest file. Android manifest file is the most important file, and it contains the permission and a and we can say it contains a proper description of the whole project, means all the services and services requested for the by the developer from the device, or it contains a list of activities used in the project, and also the navigation. All those things can be controlled by the manifest file. And this is the IC Launcher web PNG, that is the icon of the icon for the project or app. So this was all about the project environment where the project has been developed. Now by right clicking on this project, run as Android application, one can run this project. Now after successful completion of the project, we have run this app in this device, that is Asus Zenfone 5. This is the screen which shows the device, and this is the main device screen. And we are going to access now the Centurion data app, which has been developed by the group 2. This is the uh, app, or this is the icon for the Centurion University logo. And now opening this project, it is as usual like other apps. Opening this logo or this app, it shows a splash screen for the Centurion University logo. Then coming back to this menu, it has two menu screens. The first one contains all the items, and the second one contains only one item, that is the contact details. And in future, more items will be added to this. The first one is the about CUTM. It contains the data for the CUTM about the Central University. Then at the action bar, there are two facilities, that is one for navigation. This one is for the navigation to the back activity or the previous activity. And at the right corner, a home button is there, which takes the user to the menu screen. Clicking on home, we will get back to menu screen. Now this is the student handbook. Student handbook contains a list view for students, that contains all the information required for the student. And going back, the next part is the managerial board. It is a list of managerial members. And coming back, a courses is provided. Courses contains all the courses that is offered by the Centurion University. And the first one is the BTech. BTech has a list view. Depending upon the branch, one can select, and it has a tab view for swiping and changing the tabs. Similarly, agriculture and MBA can be accessed by the user. Now going back to home, rules and regulation. It contains all the rules and regulation with a three step of expanded list view. User can expand their proposed or their required section and open the file to see the rules and regulation. Also somewhere in the list view, a spinner is provided for reading more data and required data. So clicking on the spinner, it will show the required options and provided options also. Then coming back to how to reach, a scrollable screen shows all the required data or required information for reaching to Centurion University Parlakemundi. And is the first one is shows the map for to reach the university. Then also it contains the address of Centurion University and MBA block. So another one feature is that on clicking for more time, on pressing the screen, it can select the data or it can select the text from here, so user can directly copy and paste in the browser while fill upping the address of the college. Now media part has gallery, and gallery shows all the photos in a larger view. Now CUTM anthem has the play and pause button for playing the CUTM anthem. And facilities shows the facilities present in the campus, and also it has the contact and needed information at the down of that section of facility. In the next screen, the contact details has a list view of different sections where a user or where a person needs to contact, and the in charge of that particular section name is mentioned. Also the email ID has been given. The first one is for mailing, for the mail purpose, and it will directly send a mail to the help desk, CTM help desk. Rest of all these items has the calling functions. User can click to call the particular person and ask for help. uh, this was all about the Centurion app, what we have prepared. I hope it will be useful for the person who are involved with Centurion University. Thank you very much.